Hey everyone, welcome to Pickleball and Beyond. My name's Ryan.
My name is Vino.
And today we are looking at the Ace Diamond. So this is a paddle that I was extremely excited for because I've been using the Ace Spade pretty much since we started this channel. So
it's one of our, overall, it's has been one of our favorite paddles.
Yes, it's a phenomenal paddle.
It's a very popular paddle. So we were very excited about this Ace Diamond coming out.
Yes, very different paddle.
Yes.
So we'll jump straight into it. So as you can see, starting into the thickness of things,
yes,
10 millimeter paddle.
10 millimeter. I was very surprised. For a long time, I thought they were coming up with a 13 millimeter, but this is a 10 millimeter paddle.
Yes.
Extremely light.
Yep.
Off the box, I weighed it. It came at 7.3, one of the lightest paddles I have seen. They're using a Kevlar material, hence why it's really light. I've seen it in a couple other paddles, Pro Drive and a few other paddles, but very interesting material, but it's strong and light. So let's go straight into what are your initial... overall, paddle's great.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they have kept up with their quality, their standard.
Yep, same grip as the Ace Spade had. Same exact
look
grip.
And feel. Yep. It comes in a lovely box, comes with a paddle case as well. How does it feel? Let's go straight into kitchen control dinks.
Yeah, so I noticed when somebody would hit like a really slow dink, for example, you could really feel that ting, that really extra, you're like, okay, this is a paper thin paddle. You could really feel it, which led to some inconsistency on dinks. I'd hit a couple into the net, leave a couple too high. I found the sweet spot on those. It just wasn't quite as consistent as a lot of other paddles, but again, talking about a 10 millimeter paddle.
Yeah, I mean, you are very surprised playing by it because you're playing with a 10 millimeter paddle.
Yes.
My wife, Stephanie, who was recording, immediately, it sounded like some of those old wooden thin paddles, right?
Yes.
We were recording, there was another old couple playing with some wooden paddles. It felt like the same sound, you know what I mean? So yes, that thinness took a little bit of getting used to, especially when you needed the softer shots. You know what I mean? Very light touch.
Yep.
Way better than other 10 millimeter or 30 millimeter even I have played, as far as the touch goes. But it felt different.
Yeah, it definitely took, I would say it takes time to get used to this paddle. And this could be like, I think the biggest difference is the weight we're looking at here. Yes. So I noticed I started hitting, when I try to hit drops and work my way back up to the kitchen, I just always end up short. I keep ending up short, keep ending up short and trying to overcompensate. I think that weight difference was a bigger factor.
So moving from the non-volley zone to your resets, I think, again, not to harp on it, right? I usually get a paddle and I weigh it down. Right? So for me to reset with this paddle took definitely a bit of getting used to.
Yes.
Because it felt like you were just swinging almost nothing. You know what I mean? You couldn't get a feel of that reset because it popped off a bit really fast.
Yeah, I know I touched on this earlier. It seemed like if you hit it very in the center, you could definitely feel it had that high quality paddle control, but it wasn't that large of a sweet spot. So it led to a little bit of inconsistency on trying to, when somebody's smashing the ball at you and you're at the baseline, trying to redrop it in. And it's hard to get that right in the center and get that perfect consistency on it.
It had a little bit this poppy feeling. And when you say pop, it just jumps off the paddle.
I know
when you hit it.
Yeah.
Like when you hit the drives, and let's just naturally move on to it, it's really nice.
Yeah. Well, which we were expecting. I mean, it's when we were comparing the two paddles, very different paddles by Ace. But I know I made the comment, I was like, the dwell time on this thing is very minimal, which means it comes off the paddle hot. So like we were just talking about the power, it's definitely a hard hitter, but we were both hoping for a little bit more. And I think once again, it goes into that weight thing, because obviously the heavier the paddle, the more that goes into it. But since it was so thin, I was hoping for a little more power on it. It gets the job done, but it's not like knock your socks off.
And I think even when you were hitting those smashes and stuff like that, it generated power if you hit it right at that center. If you were off balance, just because of the balance of the lightness of it, it just threw it off. It didn't feel like it was driving it really nicely. You get what I mean? Let's go into spin.
Yeah, so like I just mentioned, that dwell time where it didn't seem like it sat on the paddle much, we both noticed that kind of translated into the spin. It's the same surface as the Spade had, But the spade, you know, it sits on there a little longer, and it just gets a little more jump off of it. I'd say this paddle, so the spade gets a lot of spin, quite a lot of spin, and the diamond, it's like an average amount. Like it's there, but it's definitely nothing. It's not a highlight of the paddle, but it's
because I think you make a very good point, and lots of people think it's just the roughness of the surface that generates spin. I think it's one of the contributors to generating spin.
Yes.
But also spin, also it's how it turns the ball, revolves the ball, right? So if it sits longer, it actually generates that spin. And I think that's where it's lacking on this. You don't have it sitting. It's just pushing it off, right? So the spin, when you drive it hard, you're having a little bit of spin, but those softer spin, it's holding back.
I was gonna say, so for an example, if it's a hard ball coming at you, we noticed it felt like, you know, it absorbed it a little better. It's almost easier to control the hard balls than the soft ones, which was very, very interesting on it. And I think that correlates to spin. If you have a hard ball coming at you and you tried to like put some backspin on it when you're dropping it, it could get more spin that way versus if, you know, there's like a really slow dink and you're putting the spin on it. Like if you're the one really enforcing the spin and it's not a hard ball coming at you, it was harder on the soft ones to get more spin on the ball.
Overall, very interesting paddle.
Yes.
Anyone looking for a light paddle?
Yeah, if you're looking for if you're looking for a lightweight paddle, that's the market that it's going to shine in. So personally, I definitely prefer other paddles, including the ace spade. That's still going to be my go-to paddle.
But also, I think, mind you, like
market.
Both of us have something very similar. We like thicker paddles, right? So this is our personal opinion, how this paddle feels to us.
And
overall,
the weight factor.
And the weight. I mean, I always weigh my paddles 8.5 and above, depending on the balance that I want. So this is almost an ounce less than what I'm comfortable at. So I think those are a few things to consider. Overall, very interesting paddle, very light, responsive for that thickness. It's definitely got response. I think one thing to consider is it takes a little bit of getting used to. And even today, like when we were playing with it, the more we played with it, you know, we felt comfortable with it. So something that's going to take a little bit longer.
It definitely took like 20 minutes to get used to, but again, it could take longer for us just because it's so vastly different from what we're used to. But if you already use a lightweight paddle, maybe it would honestly take a couple games only.
So. We enjoyed demoing this paddle. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe. Hope to see you in another video soon. Thank you.